Hello, my friends. Let me ask you an honest question. Have you ever walked past yourself and paused for just a second, wondering, was that me? That faint scent, it's barely there, but it's enough to make you feel subtly uneasy. You shower, you clean, you try to do everything right, and yet, something still feels off. A whisper against your comfort and your confidence. You are not imagining it, dear friend. And you are certainly not alone in this quiet concern. But here is the critical truth, the nightmare that no one talks about. Sometimes, the very bathroom habits we believe are keeping us clean, the things we've done our entire lives, are silently working against us, making things worse. Now, with many years of experience as a doctor, caring for wonderful people just like you, I can tell you with absolute certainty, this is not about being dirty. It's not a failure on your part. It is simply a misunderstanding of how our beautiful bodies evolve as we age. I'm not talking about theories from a textbook. I'm talking about reality. I think of my patient, Evelyn, a graceful woman of 65. One afternoon, her little granddaughter looked up at her with innocent eyes and asked, "Grandma, why do you smell like the attic?" That innocent question, it stayed with her. It formed a quiet, poignant question in her own mind. Is this just what getting older smells like? I'm here to tell you no, it does not have to be. In this video, we are going to walk through 8 surprising bathroom habits that may be subtly aging your scent, not your spirit. And more importantly, I will share the gentle, doctor-backed solutions that will help you feel truly fresh and deeply comfortable in your own skin again. And please, be sure to stay with me until the very end. The last habit we'll discuss is one of the most common, yet it holds the key to a small, transformative shift that could change how you feel about your body forever. Before we dive in, I truly want to know how many of us have faced this. If what I just shared feels familiar, please comment a simple yes below. It shows me you understand, and it shows others they are not alone. Okay, let's get started. Alright, let's begin with our first habit. Habit number 1. Using too much soap, especially in intimate areas. Many of us were raised with the belief that a rich lather and a strong, clean scent mean we are doing things right. We think that being extra clean requires extra effort. But this is one of the most common misunderstandings I see in my practice. I remember a patient of mine, a wonderful woman named Carol. Carol believed deeply in being immaculately clean, a value her mother had instilled in her. So when she reached her 60s and noticed subtle changes in her body, her instincts told her to scrub harder, to use more products. She had lavender-scented body washes, special feminine wipes in her purse, and powders for the afternoon. Yet despite her meticulous efforts, she came to me with a persistent discomfort. A strange dryness, an irritation, and ironically, a faint odor that just wouldn't go away, no matter how hard she tried. She felt frustrated and quietly embarrassed. You see, Carol, our bodies are incredibly wise. And the skin in our most intimate areas is far more delicate than almost anywhere else. It is exquisitely designed to clean itself, maintaining a very specific pH balance and a healthy population of good bacteria that act as our natural guardians. When we use harsh, heavily perfumed soaps, we are not helping. We are disrupting. We are stripping away the body's natural defenses. As we get older, our skin also becomes thinner and more sensitive, making this disruption even more pronounced. By washing away the good bacteria, we unintentionally create an open invitation for the very irritation and odor we were trying to prevent. When I explained this to Carol, she was utterly stunned. She realized that, with the best intentions in the world, she had been fighting against her body's own profound wisdom. Her new routine is now beautifully simple. Warm water is her best friend. She uses a gentle, fragrance-free cleanser only on the outside, and only when truly needed. The result? For the first time in years, she told me she feels genuinely fresh. Not because she masked a problem, but because she finally trusted her body to do its job. It's a profound lesson, isn't it? Sometimes, the most loving and effective thing we can do for ourselves is simply to do a little less. Habit number 2. Reusing the same bath towel too often. Now let's talk about something we all have in our bathroom. The humble bath towel. The common thinking is, well, I only use it when I'm clean, So how dirty can it really get? This seems perfectly reasonable, but it hides a damp, microbial truth. This reminds me of Patricia, a wonderfully sensible woman who grew up learning not to be wasteful. Reusing her towel for a week just felt practical. But over time, she started noticing something wasn't quite right. Even after a nice, hot shower, she didn't feel completely fresh. There was a faint, musty scent she couldn't place, and she'd even developed small, itchy patches of dry skin on her arms. She, like many, simply blamed it on getting older. The real turning point came when her daughter visited and kindly mentioned that the bathroom smelled a little damp. That evening, Patricia held her towel to her face and, for the first time, truly noticed the stale odor she had grown accustomed to. Here is the science of it. A bath towel, hanging in a warm, humid bathroom, is the perfect breeding ground for bacteria, mildew, and even mold. It can trap moisture for hours. Each time we rub that seemingly clean towel on our clean skin, we are potentially transferring millions of microscopic microbes right back onto our bodies. As we age, our skin's barrier isn't as robust as it once was, making us more susceptible to the irritation these microbes can cause. So the very tool you trust to dry you and keep you clean could be quietly undoing all your good work. Patricia now has a simple, new system. She wisely rotates between 3 towels, ensuring she washes each one after just 2 or 3 uses. And she never hangs it on a hook where it stays crumpled and damp. Instead, she spreads it wide on a towel rack, giving it every chance to dry completely. The change was remarkable. Her skin irritation cleared up, the bathroom smelled fresher, and that subtle feeling of unease simply vanished. If this little tip about your towel was a surprise to you, let me know in the comments by writing the word fresh. It's amazing how such a small change can make such a big difference. Habit number 3. Neglecting proper foot care. This next habit is so easy to overlook. We spend so much time on our face, our hair. But what about our feet? Tucked away in socks and shoes, they are often out of sight and out of mind. I had a patient, Shirley, who always presented herself with such grace. Her hair was perfectly styled, her blouses always crisp. But she used to joke that her feet were her forgotten children. For years, this seemed fine, until it wasn't. It started subtly, a faint, sour smell from her shoes, even on cool days. Then came the dry, cracked skin on her heels, and a persistent, maddening itch between her toes that would wake her up at night. She tried lotions and new socks, but nothing seemed to work. It was during a visit to a podiatrist that she finally understood. The core of the issue lies in how our bodies change with age. Our skin's natural ability to shed dead cells slows down considerably. For our feet, which are trapped in a warm, moist, and dark environment for most of the day, this is a perfect storm. The buildup of dead skin cells becomes a feast for bacteria and fungus, which are the true culprits behind persistent odor and irritation, like athlete's foot. It's not about being unclean. It's about a change in our skin's biology that requires a new kind of attention. Shirley was genuinely shocked. She'd been so diligent with every other aspect of her self-care. From that day on, she made a promise to her feet. Now, every shower includes what she calls her dedicated minute. She uses a soft cloth and mild soap to gently scrub her entire foot, paying special attention to washing between every toe. Once a week, she uses a simple pumice stone to gently buff her heels. And the most critical step, she dries her feet thoroughly. No more quick pats. She makes sure every last bit of moisture is gone. The itching stopped. The odor vanished. But more than that, she told me she felt a new sense of quiet confidence. As she so wisely put it, I didn't just clean my feet. I learned to listen to them. Let's all remember to listen to our feet. They have carried us through our entire life's journey. Habit number 4. Flushing with the toilet lid open. This next habit is something millions of us do every single day without a second thought. And it might make your skin crawl just a little bit once you understand what's happening. Barbara was a patient of mine whose home was always impeccably tidy. Her bathroom sparkled. So when a friend mentioned something called the toilet plume, she laughed it off. It sounded like something from a cartoon. But her curiosity got the better of her, and what she discovered that night left her feeling deeply uneasy. Here is the scientific reality. Every time a toilet is flushed with the lid open, it creates a powerful, invisible geyser of microscopic droplets. This aerosolized plume, filled with whatever was in the bowl, can launch into the air as high as 6 feet. 6 feet. These droplets can then float around the bathroom for a considerable time before settling on everything. Your sink, your hand towels, your hairbrush, and yes, most alarmingly, your toothbrush. As we get older, our immune systems are often not as strong as they were in our youth, making us more vulnerable to the bacteria that are being spread around our personal space. Barbara had a moment of profound realization. She pictured all the time she had flushed while her clean towels hung nearby, or while her toothbrush sat in its holder on the counter. Her bathroom looked clean. It even smelled clean, thanks to her air fresheners. But she was potentially caught in a constant, invisible cycle of contamination. From that day forward, she made one incredibly simple yet powerful change. She closes the lid every single time before she flushes. It became an automatic reflex, and she noticed that a faint, lingering bathroom odor she could never quite pinpoint was suddenly gone. Her bathroom didn't just look clean anymore. It felt truly, deeply safer. It's a perfect reminder that sometimes the most powerful health habit is the one that is simplest and costs nothing at all. Habit number 5. Wearing the same underwear to bed. Let's talk about something very personal. A quiet habit that many women have without ever thinking it could be a problem. It's the habit of wearing the same underwear to bed that you've had on all day. Margaret, a lovely woman in her 70s, had a calming evening routine she cherished. A cup of tea, her favorite soft robe, and a good book. So when I gently suggested during a checkup that she might consider changing her underwear before sleep, she was genuinely surprised. "But doctor," she explained, "I've just been at home all day reading. I'm not sweaty. They still feel clean." And her logic made perfect sense on the surface. But here is what's happening on a microscopic level. Even on the most restful of days, our bodies are constantly releasing small amounts of sweat, natural oils, and shedding skin cells. It's a normal, healthy process. However, when these substances are held against our skin in a warm, enclosed area for 24 hours straight, it can create an ideal environment for bacteria to multiply. As we age, our skin becomes thinner, and our hormonal changes can affect the delicate balance in our intimate areas, making us more prone to irritation, unwelcome odors, or even minor infections like yeast or bacterial imbalances. Margaret had never considered this. She thought changing into her pajamas was enough. But she decided to give it a try. That very night, she put on a fresh, clean pair of soft, breathable cotton underwear just for sleeping. She told me the difference was immediate. She felt noticeably fresher, cleaner, and more comfortable as she got into bed. After a few nights, she even experimented with foregoing underwear altogether, wearing only her loose cotton nightgown. To her surprise, she felt even better, waking up feeling wonderfully comfortable and airy. Now, she has a small stack of bedtime-only underwear. It's a tiny, seemingly insignificant change in her routine, but it has made a world of difference in her personal comfort and confidence. It's a beautiful example of how allowing your body the simple gift of breathing can be the most refreshing thing of all. Habit number 6. Not regularly cleaning the bathroom trash bin. This next habit hides in plain sight, quietly contributing to odors in a space we work so hard to keep clean. I'm talking about the humble bathroom trash bin. I had a patient, Diane, who was the definition of meticulous. Her bathroom counters were clear, her mirror was streak-free, and you could practically eat off the floor. Yet, she was bothered by a fleeting sour smell she could never quite trace. She'd check the sink drain, wash the bath mat, but the faint, unpleasant scent would always return. The source of her frustration, it turned out, was the one thing she never thought to clean: the inside of her small, lidded trash bin. It makes perfect sense when you think about it. The bin might not be overflowing, but what's inside? Used tissues, damp cotton pads for removing makeup, and other personal items. Even when wrapped, these things release tiny amounts of moisture and organic matter. When you put a lid on that small, dark space, you create a perfect incubator. The warmth and humidity allow bacteria and mold to grow slowly and silently, releasing odors that eventually seep out into the room. Because our sense of smell can weaken slightly as we age, We might not even notice the odor at its source, but we are aware of a general off smell in the air. Diane had been scrubbing every surface in her bathroom except for the one that was quietly sabotaging all her efforts. Her solution is now a simple, two-part habit. First, she empties the bin every couple of days, whether it looks full or not. This prevents things from sitting for too long. Second, once a week, when she's cleaning the bathroom anyway, she gives the empty bin a quick wipe down with a simple all-purpose cleaner or a spray of white vinegar and water. It takes less than a minute. The result? That frustrating, phantom smell is completely gone. Her bathroom now has a true, deep-down freshness. If you've just had a light bulb moment about your own bathroom trash bin, let me know by commenting the word clean below. It's often the most overlooked corners that hold the key to a truly fresh home. Habit number 7. Not washing your bathrobe frequently. A soft, cozy bathrobe can feel like a warm hug at the beginning or end of the day. It's a garment of pure comfort. And because of this, and because we only wear it when we're clean, it's easy to forget that it needs regular washing just like any other piece of clothing. This was certainly the case for Susan. Her plush, worn-in robe was her treasured comfort item. She'd had it for years and couldn't imagine her mornings without it. She figured, I just stepped out of the shower, I'm clean. The robe must be clean too. But over time, she started to notice that feeling of not quite clean, even right after bathing. A faint, musty scent seemed to cling to her skin. It wasn't her soap. It wasn't her perfume. It just wasn't her. The sad moment of truth came when she was gathering laundry and caught a whiff of her beloved robe. It was unmistakable. It smelled like the back of a damp closet. The science is identical to that of our bath towels, but perhaps even more pronounced because of the thick, absorbent fabric. Even a clean body leaves behind moisture, natural skin oils, and millions of shed skin cells on the robe. When that robe is then hung on a hook, especially in a steamy bathroom, the fabric traps that dampness deep within its fibers. This creates a 5-star hotel for bacteria and mildew, which thrive and produce that telltale musty odor. The very garment that was meant to make Susan feel cozy and fresh was actually stealing that feeling away from her. Susan's solution was simple but effective. She bought a second, equally cozy robe. Now, she rotates them. She wears one for a week, while the other gets washed with her weekly load of towels. She also makes sure to hang it on a wide hanger, not a narrow hook, allowing air to circulate and dry it completely. The difference was night and day. Her skin feels cleaner, her mornings smell fresher, and her cherished robe now offers true, clean comfort, not just the illusion of it. True comfort, she learned, isn't just about how something feels to the touch. It's about how it makes you feel deep inside yourself, genuinely clean and cared for. Habit number 8. Not rinsing properly after shaving. And finally, we arrive at our last habit. It's a very specific, subtle omission that can have a surprisingly large impact on underarm freshness throughout the day. Joyce had always been diligent about shaving her underarms. In her mind, the logic was simple. No hair means less surface area for sweat and bacteria, which should mean fewer odors. For decades, her routine was the same. A quick shave in the shower, a pat dry, a swipe of deodorant, and she was out the door. But lately, she felt like her deodorant was failing her. Even on cool, calm days, she would notice a persistent, breakthrough odor by the afternoon. She tried stronger, clinical-strength products, but nothing seemed to solve the problem completely. She felt frustrated and self-conscious. During a routine visit, she mentioned it to me. I smiled, because this is something I have explained to many patients over the years. I told her, Joyce, you are performing the first step perfectly, but you're missing the crucial second step. Here's what she hadn't realized. Shaving is a form of exfoliation. It doesn't just remove hair. It also scrapes away and stirs up a microscopic mixture of dead skin cells, leftover deodorant residue from the day before, and the natural bacteria living on the skin surface. Think of it like stirring up sediment at the bottom of a pond. If you don't thoroughly rinse all of that debris away, it simply settles right back down, often into the freshly opened pores and tiny nicks left by the razor. This buildup is what can cause a persistent odor, not the shaving itself. The fix was not a fancy product, but a mindful action. Now, after she shaves, Joyce takes an extra 30 seconds. She uses a soft, clean washcloth and warm water to gently but thoroughly wipe the entire area. No harsh scrubbing, just a deliberate cleanse. Then, she pats the skin completely dry with a clean towel and, this part is important, waits a minute or two before applying her deodorant. She lets her skin breathe and calm down. The difference, she said, was immediate and profound. No more mystery odor. No more feeling let down by her deodorant. Just a lasting, clean confidence all day long. She learned that sometimes, it's not about doing more. It's simply about finishing what you started, with intention and care. As we come to a close, let's return to that quiet, uneasy feeling we spoke of at the beginning. Remember Evelyn and her granddaughter's innocent question? Remember that subtle scent that might have made you pause and wonder? After exploring these 8 simple habits together, I hope you now see the truth. That feeling isn't a judgment. It's not a sign that you are failing, or that you are getting old in a negative way. It is simply a gentle whisper from your body. A quiet request for a new kind of understanding, a different, more tender kind of care. When you thoughtfully consider it, none of these habits we've discussed are big, dramatic life changes, are they? A towel is washed a bit more often. A lid closed before flushing. A kinder, gentler way to wash. They are the small, quiet choices we make in the privacy of our own homes. And the profound truth is, as we gracefully age, these small things become the very foundation of how we feel in our own skin. Aging is not the end of freshness, or dignity, or beauty. It is simply a wondrous new chapter that calls for a deeper awareness and a richer measure of kindness towards ourselves. And the most empowering part? Every single one of these adjustments is wonderfully easy. They cost nothing. They require no fancy products or complicated routines. They only require a little more self-love. As we wrap up our time together today, we've explored these critical habits. But knowledge is only powerful when we put it into action. So now, I have one important question for you. What is the one small, gentle commitment you are making to yourself this week after watching this? It could be as simple as, I will wash my bathrobe, or I will take an extra moment to dry my feet. Or perhaps, I will close the lid. Please share your personal commitment in the comments below. Your simple promise is a powerful step, and it will surely inspire others in our community to take their own. And if you found real value and a sense of comfort in our time together, you can show your support with a simple click on the like button. To ensure you continue on this journey with us, and never miss another video full of this kind of gentle wisdom, please hit that subscribe button. It's more than just subscribing. It's joining a community of friends, all dedicated to aging with grace and strength together. And finally, think of one person in your life, a friend, a sister, a neighbor, who might need to hear this message of kindness and self-care today. Please consider sharing this video with them. You never know. That small act of sharing might just make their entire day feel lighter and more empowered. Thank you, sincerely, for spending this precious time with me. Take wonderful care of yourself. And I'll look forward to seeing you in our next video.